Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the briefing on Wednesday, the 18th. Again, we're sort of racing through this month, but it's certainly at times not been as settled a month as April was. But sort of left the overnight chart there. You can see the cold front that went through, giving us some rain overnight and showers before that. And the pressure dropped quite dramatically late afternoon and then overnight. Then it's been rising again as we're now into sort of southerly airflow and quite sort of humid air for the next sort of 12 hours really. Next band of fronts going to come through, and I'll show those in a second, and where they're going to go through, and little ridge of high pressure building on Thursday. So reasonable spacing on the isobars, but it's still got a breeze to it, both on the ground and at flying heights from an awkward direction as well. So overnight those fronts get to us, and then tomorrow a small ridge of high pressure just building. So hopefully give us a nice cross-country day tomorrow. So TAFs today, fairly short, between 6 o'clock this morning and 4 o'clock this afternoon, 165 knots. So southerly across the field really, and Farnborough saying scattered at 4.5. Farnborough saying few at 4.5. Sorry, Gatwick are saying few at 4.5, and Heathrow few at 4. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure where they're getting that from, because the actual ascents and the predicted ascent doesn't quite show it going that high, and Top Meteo doesn't either. So I think we can dial that one down a bit. Upper winds, southerly, 15 to 20 knots. So pretty similar to yesterday really in wind direction. Very different air mass, much drier yesterday. The humidity was about 55% yesterday. Currently it's sat at about 90. So very different air mass, although it's coming from the same direction. Lots of clouds spilling in here, and it looks at various levels. There's some high stuff, but it's mainly out to the west at the moment. This is more low level and mid-level cloud. And because of that, the temperature's certainly not going to go anywhere near as high as they were yesterday. BBC reckon 21 around here. Other forecasts I've looked at suggest 20 in the sort of Lasham area at best today. And dew points, well, currently they're about 11s, but that's because it's quite high humidity, high dew point. They will come down a bit. Overnight, the dew point went down to about 6. I don't think it's going to go down that far, but certainly dew points will descend a little bit. Temperature of 19, 20, and dew points about 9, so reasonable temperature split. Here's where it looks a little bit odd. This is the 12 o'clock. The lines have moved apart from 9 o'clock where they were close together. And it's quite dry in here, and certainly the actual ascent suggests the same. But even if you plug in something like sort of 18 degrees, this is not showing any cloud. This thermal's going to about 2.5 above Lasham. Later in the afternoon, doesn't look very good at all, to be honest. So this is why I'm having difficulty rationalising between what the Met Office are saying and what I'm seeing on the actual ascents here. This is local to Lasham. Further north does look better, a little bit better anyway. The actual Lark Hill shows quite a lot of moisture in the low levels, but drying out in the sort of 2,500, 3,000 feet and above that. So I think with 20 degrees, you should see, and that says blue thermals, I suspect, or few at 3,500 feet above sea level. At best. Top meteo, well, they're giving quite a mixed picture early on. Bits of low cloud coming and going, but drying out fairly quickly as the day goes on. They're showing lots of Q below cirrus and alta cirrus. So some upper cloud cutting out the sun, and they're just showing odd bits of cumulus in here as the day goes on. That's 1 o'clock, and play it forward another couple of hours. Still showing pretty much high cloud, bits of medium level cloud, and odd bits of cumulus, but I think it'll be few and far between. And you can start to see the next front moving in. So by sort of 6 o'clock, we'll see the influence from the next front. Probably not the rain, hopefully. That won't get here until hopefully after dark. Thermal wise, look at sort of 1 o'clock. Southerly wind, so not great near us, but better if you get further inland. They're showing probably north of the M4 up towards Oxford, 1,000 meters, 1,200 meters, so just above 3,000 feet by midday, and a little bit better in the afternoon. But Lasham, 800 to 900 meters best. That's fairly typical in a southerly, where the further north you go, the better it gets. So it can be tricky to get away from Lasham and get back. Their suggested distance is, as you'd expect, out to the north, but it's around Lasham area, white, so probably local soaring, and not great further north. Not a great day, but as we say, tomorrow does look better. Not really looked at it in detail, why there's a hole in the middle of the country around Oxford. That's not very good, but should be okay in certain directions tomorrow. Right, operationally, I think it really forces us to go on 1.6 unless we can look at it and make something out of 2.3, but 1.6 looks like the likely option. Jordan will be there before I am today, so he can make that decision on which one to go on based on what the windsock is doing. No jet movements. As notified this morning, I think the next set of jet movements is on Friday, but it's not to say that something might pop up. We'll keep you informed at the launch point. And airspace locally, not really a lot. You can see some 27 and 28 around the danger areas. Nothing for us to worry about. Essentially, there's parachuting right in the middle of the danger area here at 7 o'clock in the evening, and this danger area here, the northern one, is raised from about dark to midnight up to 3,000 feet, so nothing to worry about there. And all around the Lasham area down to the south and up to the north, nothing of note in terms of NOTAMs. Okay, folks, hopefully start getting the kit out, and then when Jordan gets there, we'll set up and start our operation.